All right, folks. Appreciate you greatly joining me this afternoon, and I'm going to try to go kind of slow with this. There's a lot to this video, and but I've got a lot of truthful things to show you guys, and things that I can prove too. And so that's the thing. I can prove this stuff. But it's going to be deep meaning things. It's going to be one of those that some of you are not going to understand, I guess. You got to understand the occult. You have to understand many things. Now, what I want you to know is this. There are many people that comes along and tells me, Jerry, you shouldn't be looking into these kind of things. Let me tell you something, guys. And it's as simple as this. As a prophet of the Lord, I'm supposed to be a shepherd. How am I supposed to identify wolves if I'm not a shepherd? How do you do that? You know what? Paul, he talked often there of Satan's devices, to be aware of them, because Paul, he knew how Satan was, lest he take advantage of us. You know, Jesus Christ, in Revelations, he said, let he who hath understanding calculate the mark of the beast, for it is the number of a man, 666. And, you know, it just makes me think, folks, I can't calculate that number if I don't look at the occult. What am I supposed to do? Say, Lord, I'm sorry, Jesus, I can't have understanding of that number of the beast, because I ain't going to look at none of that stuff. I'm just going to stay one of these docile pink bow tie Christians, and I'm not going to look at anything. I'm not going to look at the opposing side's playbook. Folks, let me ask you something. Whoever taught you all any of that stuff? That is really a brainwashed ideology, man. How am I supposed to be able to calculate the number of the beast if I don't check into what the number of the beast is? See, that's contradictive to Scripture right there. It's contradictive to the Lord, to Jesus Christ. He said, let he who hath understanding calculate. Why am I supposed to calculate if I don't look into it? Because believe you me, they do different things than what you would think a calculation would be. Kabbalistic calculations, a lot of things a lot of you guys don't know, but Jesus does. And I can't do that kind of stuff unless I look into it. Anyway, let's get underway here. This is about Aleister Crowley, guys, and you all know what that I'm accusing him of. I think you've seen this, what I'm accusing him of. And so, most wickedest man in the entire world, man. There's a picture of him, one of the first pictures I've showed you. This is when he got his 33rd degrees of Freemasonry. And he was the 133rd degree Freemason out of Manly P. Hall and many of the other well-known occultist guys that I noticed something about, and I've known this for a long time. Some of them, the others, they sort of mentioned, you know, what these guys did to get their 33rd degree. They never did to him. It's like the Holy Spirit told me, listen, it's not what this man has done, it's what he's going to do. It's what the Lord told me about this. That this is the one, that it's going to be what he does. Because they never mentioned what he did to get it. And everybody else always mentioned something. Even if it was a lame excuse that didn't fully tell you, they still said something. They said nothing about him. It was what he was going to do, guys, not what he done. But he's did plenty. Trust me on what I'm telling you. He's done plenty. Let's see here. Aleister Crowley, the most wickedest man in the world, documents the life of a bizarre occultist and a poet and a mountaineer. You know, there's a lot of articles and stuff about him. And you can see right here, according to Crowley, he isn't finished yet. 1,000 years from now, Crowley once wrote, listen to this, people, the world will be sitting in the sunset of Crowleyanity. The self-aggrandized Crowley called himself the Great Beast 666 and many other tongue-in-cheek apocalyptic titles. The British press dubbed him as the most wickedest man in the world. Also, the title of the above documentary, one of the 4 BBC 4 series on famously sinister called The Master of Darkness. And people does consider him the Master of Darkness, people. They consider him the top occultist that there is that has ever lived. And let me ask you something, guys. If I told you right now I could take Aleister Crowley, I could take him. You saying, boy, you awful cocky, Jerry. Got that right, I'm awful cocky, pal. I'm a descendant of the Fisher Kings, the Merovingian kings of old. I know who I am, people. And let me tell you something for that matter. You know, there's a lot of you guys, you all tell me, Jerry, I just don't believe this and that, and about what you say about that, even though there's overwhelming evidence that you've got the blood lineage of the Merovingian Fisher Kings, and there is overwhelming evidence that that's the blood lineage of Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene, people. But let me tell you something that I want to tell you people that says that, okay? I'm tired of renouncing my birthright. I am. You people have renounced your birthright. When you go out here and you have to buy a fishing license, a hunting license, a license to do anything over something that God endowed you to be able to do because He gave Adam dominion over this earth. That was a gift given to man, and now you have to pay for it. You have let the serpent, you've let the serpent take your birthright and your title away from you, and guess what? You're fine with that. Well, I'm not fine with it, folks. I'm like William Wallace from here on out, which was a Merovingian king. That's right. You missed your God-given right to something better. You missed it.
I knight thee, Sir William Wallace. Sir William, in the name of God, we declare and appoint thee Guardian and High Protector of Scotland, and thy captains as aide-de-camp. Stand and be recognized.
Anyone know this poet?
No, but his weight with the commoners could unbalance everything. Burials will kiss his arse, so we must. Sir William!
Sir William, inasmuch as you and your captains hail from a region long known to support the Badial clan, may we invite you to continue your support and uphold our rightful claim?
Damn the Balial clan!
Now is the time to declare a king.
Wait! And you're prepared to recognize our legitimate succession, are
You're
you?
the ones who would support the rightful claim.
Those man lies when you first spoke of the
I demand recognition of these documents.
Sir William, where are you going?
We have beaten the English, but they'll come back. Because you won't stand together.
What will you do?
I will invade England and defeat the English on their own ground.
Invade? That's impossible.
Why? Why is that impossible? You're so concerned with squabbling for the scraps from Longshank's table that but you've missed your God-given right to something better. There's a difference between us. You think the people of this country exist to provide you with position. I think your position exists to provide those people with freedom. And I go to make sure that they have it.
You just seen that, didn't you, guys? You missed your God-given right to something better. You have. And I'm tired of renouncing my birthright. I'm going to keep my birthright because it's my right. That's right. I know who I am, folks. If you don't know who you are, then that's between you and God. But I'm not going to renounce my birthright anymore. Guess what, folks? I've renounced it enough. Because you guys have renounced it for a long time. You know, Jesus said that he would, I shall make you like the sands of the sea, when he talked about the children of Israel. You would be surprised how many of you guys are the lost tribes of Israel, and guess what? You've renounced your birthright. And you do it without a fight either. It's sad. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Just like that, he said that he could defeat the English on their own ground, I can take the most evil occultist that's ever lived right here. But I'll not do it. You know why? Because even though I do it, you people won't let me do it. I'm telling you the truth. I will give you undeniable proof on what I'm saying today. And I will show you what this man is doing. But I'll not defeat him today. You know why? Because you'll help him. You will, you'll help him. You'll help him by doing nothing. Just like you people have done for a long time. And I'm just being honest with you. You will help him win today. You will. Just like these idiots here did nothing a minute ago about the whole thing with Longshanks. It's the same thing today, guys, as it is yesteryear. Wallace is the same blood lineage as I am. We're fighting the same people. But you're going to think it's impossible, and you're going to help this man win. That's what you're going to do. Most of you, yeah. It doesn't matter what I say today. You'll not do anything about this. You'll do nothing. I'm just being honest. I'll not defeat him today because of you guys. But I can promise you, I can show you what he's doing exactly and prove it. So let's move on, I guess. Even though I know what this is going to be. Okay? This man has, he's led an extraordinary life, and he's put the hoodoo on you guys, man. This guy was Winston Churchill, guys. I'm telling you the truth. The Prime Minister that they had, Neville Chamberlain, they poisoned him, guys. Neville Chamberlain was poisoned. He had one drink too many with some people. They got him sick. He died. They poisoned him. And the World War II was delayed for about 6 or 7 months. Until this aristocratic mass murderer got in there. From Blenheim Palace. It's all the same blood lineage, people. It's the Queen. There he is, the aristocracy. The Saxe-Coburg-Golgotha bloodline, okay? Same thing as the Queen. And his plans are what's helping Prince William. Can't make it up, folks. He was also on the Addams Family. Now you're going to say, Jerry, that can't happen. He was dead by the time the Addams Family come out. Well, you can think what you want to. I'm just telling you what he was. That's him, guys. He has hoodooed you people big time, man. I mean, really. Now, whatever you do now, don't be paying no attention to the man behind the curtain either, because there he is too. I'm telling you the truth, man. That's him. He is the Wizard of Oz that wrote the Liber Oz. Okay? I've got a video, Crowley, the man behind the curtain. I've got occultic stuff on it that you can see. Images that's been caught in between frames and everything else. Then I've got another one that says, you still not believe me? And it's got Dorothy with a COVID mask on. I didn't make that stuff up, guys. And listen, I didn't get this from anybody else either. Any of this stuff that you see like this is all my material. As far as I know, I'm the only one accusing Crowley of all this. But guess what, guys? I am. I'm accusing him of every bit of it. This is the cat right here that's behind every bit of this COVID stuff. It is. Now, let's see here. The book of the 777. The book of, basically the book of the lies. Now, remember what I told you all. There's different variations of Libra. L-I-B-R-E, L-I-B-E-R, L-I-B-R-A. There's different variations of Liber when it comes down to the book of 77 and Liber Oz. Now, if you notice, this one's a 777. Now, Crowley uses 3 different sets of numbers with the 7s. He uses the 7, he uses the 77, and he uses the 777. Okay? That's what he does. And so I'll go over every bit of this about what he's done and what he has used. And it is very occultic what he's did. Okay? Another thing I want you guys to remember. This Gregorian calendar and Julian calendar. I told you all a few days ago. That's 11 days off, guys. We're 11 days off. We are. 11 days off from anything that we do. I proved that Jesus Christ's birthday was on first Nisan, but it's not March 20th, it's March 31st, and it only makes sense because the new calendar year starts at that time. And the lambs, the only time they're out of the nighttime, guys, is when it's spring of the year and they're born. And what is Jesus, the Lamb of God? I've got undeniable proof it's March 31st. They say it's March 20th. They say it's a conspiracy theory. It's not. But first Nisan is March 31st. It's not March 20th. And my birthday is March 31st, not March 20th. But anyway, let's move on. You got a Gregorian range right there, but I'm telling you, they're even confusing you a little bit right here. This is the correct date right here. Every bit of it is. The Julian calendar is what the occultists still go by because it's the true calendar. You've been lied to about so many things, guys. It's just like Jesus Christ being a Pisces, which is a fish, and you know a fish represents him. Well, that's in February and March. That's not December the 25th. That's an astrograph number, folks, or an astrograph symbol, fish, Jesus, fish, Pisces. And you can see the lie that they did. But anyway, September the 11th was actually September the 23rd. And this only makes sense. And I'm going to tell you why. The awful set of events that went on September the 11th, for it to be September 23rd actually that it took place makes perfect sense. Because this is the birth of the most cruelest Caesar to ever rule in the old Roman Empire. Caesar Augustus. And that's his birthday. Another thing, that is also the beginning of the Libra. And that is also the fall harvest. And that is the most occultic day that there is, folks, for the occult. And it also has a set of scales in it, which I tell you, the tribe of Dan is the one that's responsible for all this, and ours are scales. So it all adds up. See, you got the Libra. The set of scales of the tribe of Dan. September the 23rd. If you count 11 days out from the 11th, you got 23rd. September the 23rd. That's what you got. And that's what it is. 9/11 was done on the fall equinox. That is not Jesus' birthday in September, folks. There's nothing to support it. Nothing. Okay? This just so happens to be Lucifer's deal, man. It is. September the 23rd. If I can get it to pull up. This thing's been fighting me all day long, man. I'm telling you. Why has it fought me like it has? I must be doing something right. At least wanted to show you. It's still covering it up. Isn't that amazing? It says September the 23rd at the bottom of it. It does. But you see the Libra. You can see that. September 23rd. And it's him. It's his time. Okay. In chapter 9 of Revelations, which I'm going to get my Bible here. Hang on. Okay, if you don't have your Bible, put me on hold, guys, and go get it. But listen. I back up everything with the Bible, folks. Then the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fallen from heaven for the earth. And to him was given the keys to the bottomless pit. Now, who do we always predict? Who is the morning star, guys? Satan. He's the morning star. He's the one that fell. He's the one that fell. And he got the keys to the bottomless pit of CERN. That's your particle collider in Switzerland. Can't make it up, guys. To him was given the keys to the bottomless pit, and he opened the bottomless pit, and smoke arose out of the pit, like a great furnace. So the sun and the hour were darkened because of the smoke of the pit, and now the smoke locusts come upon the earth. Now, how many of you know that the scales right here, this effect of the scales and the actions of the scales in certain instances, it represents the locust. Take a look over here. Locust. And you just have to look up on it one day, but that's what it represents. The scales is locust. So these locusts come upon the earth. Okay? And let's go on further here. So the locusts come upon the earth. And to them was given power, as the power of scorpions of the earth have power. Now, how many of you know that Scorpio is a representative of the constellation of Libra? It is. It's Scorpio. Scorpions. Can't make it up, guys. All right. Then they were commanded not to harm the grass or the trees or anything else, but only those men who had the seal of God in their foreheads. And they were not given authority to kill them, but to torment them for 5 months. And their torment of a scorpion was like when it strikes a man. And if you see right here, guys, and you can actually take a look in Sean's video that I sent you, My Walk with Jesus Christ. Go write this down. At 6 minutes and 45 seconds to 7 minutes, he'll tell you where all these people ended up hurting at when they got this shot. And you got the hips, the kidneys, and the bladder. He mentioned that. And I think he mentioned the heart, which the heart is right above that, and there's the lion, the beast. So that lion, the beast, would go right along with the Libra scales. It would. And he mentioned in that video, which you need to see that video anyway, but he mentioned in it what would hurt and or what was really bothering everybody in these other countries. And that's what it was. Exactly what the body parts it represents is. There's the sting of the scorpion. This is Revelations unfolding, folks, in front of your eyes. This is the COVID-19. Now, this was a center of controversy for a little while. Now, you guys know that I believe that all of the royalty of the earth here are the pharaohs of old. And right here we have Anubis, the god of death, right here. Now, they're going to be real quick to tell you that that ain't what that is, that that's aardvark something, that it doesn't have nothing to do with the pharaohs whatsoever. It don't have nothing to do with them. There's Anubis. That's what I say it is. Okay? But they say it don't have nothing to do with it, don't have nothing to do with Egypt. It's an aardvark from some kind of aardvark incorporated this or that. And just don't be doing anything like that, because it don't have nothing to do with the pharaohs any whatsoever. They're putting this thing together at Colorado, out there in at the Denver airport, which is a very occultic place, with all those murals and everything out there. And there's the COVID-19 testing site. And again, you know, they say, hey, don't have nothing to do with that. It's Aardvark Mobile Tours. That Egypt and the pharaohs don't have nothing to do with that. Well, I mean, I might buy that, guys, you know, if this right here didn't roll in right behind it. I mean, what are they? They're playing you for an idiot, man. Sometimes I don't know whether to laugh or cry or what. But I guess this is just a coincidence, isn't it? Just like everything else is. Right here, the shape of the locust was like horses prepared for battle. Horses prepared for battle, guys. Rolling right in there, prepared for battle, ain't they? The four horsemen of the apocalypse. Rolling in here, man, roaring in here, prepared for battle. Well, and on their heads were crowns. They sure are. It's the crown virus. And you know what? The crown that goes on top of your head goes on top of whose head? Or something like gold. And their faces were like the faces of men. They sure are. They're the ones giving you the shot. And they had a woman's hair. Some of them does. And they had teeth like lions. They sure do, because they're working for the beast. And they had a breastplate like the breastplate of iron. And the sound of their wings was like the sound of chariots, with many horses running into battle. There they're running into battle, folks. They had tails like scorpions, like Scorpio. And there was a sting in their tails. You got that right. They got a tail all right. And that tail is, you need that. Can't make it up, guys. I mean, I wished I could just make it up, but it... Now, let's go on here. They had a king over them, the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew was Abaddon. But in Greek, his name was Apollyon the Destroyer. And as you can see right here, guys, in Libra, Apollyon for the zodiac gods. Libra is Apollyon. Apollo, see it? And how many of you know that Apollo had his kingdom, Apollyon the Destroyer had his kingdom set up right over top of where they've got that particle collider in Switzerland? That's where it's set up at, guys. Right there, right over top of the kingdom. Geographically, that's what it is. I've looked at it. I've looked at every bit of it. Geographically, that's where it was. It had to be somewhere within a 50-mile radius of that, so it's as big as this earth is. Why would they put it there? So there you go. Now, let's see here. You have to be aware of Satan's devices, guys. That's what you got to do. And it'll tell you here. This is Paul speaking on that. You can see that he says that at the bottom here. To be aware of Satan's devices. And that's what I told you a moment ago. Now we're going to get into these shots, okay? And guys, I'm going to tell you something. I told you here the other day that I came across some additional information, and that's what delayed this. And so, and it did. It delayed it. And so, what I'm going to have to do is, I'm going to go over it. What I found was, hold on one moment. Okay, what I found was this. I found a virus that has all the aspects of the COVID-19. Every bit of it. And it was the Holy Spirit that helped me with this, guys. This anthrax, supposed anthrax virus that they had back during Desert Storm. The vaccination for this thing was made by a biodefense corporation that was in Michigan. It was actually a defense corporation. It wasn't a pharmaceutical company. And the odd thing about it is, guys, this was also made by the same Novartis company in Switzerland, just under a different subcontracted name that was owned by them, but it's still them. And all of the stuff matches up for it, all of the ingredients, everything. So we're going to go over here just a little bit. Too much vitamin D may harm the bones and other things. And I noticed there's a lot of controversy on both anthrax and on the COVID when it comes down to vitamin D. There's a lot of stuff about it. And so I asked the Lord, I said, Lord, help me with this. I know that there's something involved with this. I know you can show me something here, because I just get feelings about these things, folks. I'm so interconnected with the Master that he can help me with this stuff. But look, you got one corporation here who is, let's see, hold on, with Procter & Gamble Pharmaceuticals. You know what Procter & Gamble is, guys. Or you should, anyway. And there's another one here. Let's see. Well, it was supposed to have been anyway. It's here. Hold on. Yeah, there it is. There it is. It was on a separate one. You just got to be patient with me, guys, because I'm showing you some stuff here, man. I'm telling you, I'm showing you some stuff. This right here. Novartis. See? Novartis Animal Health. Because it was supposed to have been an animal virus, but they still had their hands all in it. Off of this Heska Corporation. Okay? So they were right in the middle of this thing, just like they're right in the middle of this thing of ours with Novavax. Okay? Now, if you've not seen Sean's video that I gave you earlier there on My Walk in Jesus Christ, you need to look at it. This drug, Biothrax, is variances of salt. And it's in both of them, but it's called something different because the suffix changes in both of them in application to the said virus. If it's Biothrax, they call it Biothrax because it's anthrax. If they call it Biovax, it's Biovax because it's COVID. See what I mean? But it's still the same stuff, it's just the medical application you put on it. This synthetic genomics and PFNX is the ones who distributed this stuff for the COVID virus. Who distributed it. Okay? And this PFNX, this makes perfect sense because who's distributing ours now? Pfizer. PFNX, Pfizer. Owned by the same bunch, man. You can even see the DNA up here. See that DNA? They always show the DNA, don't they? Always. Pfizer. You know? PFNX, Pfizer. All right. Does that look like a common sight to you? Looks just like what we're seeing right now, don't it? Innovative solutions for a global health. Same thing they're promoting right now, global health. You know, the people who are promoting it, guys, I'm telling you right now, they are not of God. This anthrax. I want to tell you what this tells me about this. Believe it or not, guys, the people that makes these ads and everything, they color code all this stuff. They do. I promise you, I can tell so many things about what they do just off color coding. This right here means war. This red. It's the pharaonic color for war, red. And this is also the atom or nuclear symbol. And I tried to tell you guys before, and I'll show you again here in a minute, the COVID virus is also this nuclear symbol. It's code atom processing. That's what it is, guys. You see this green, this anthrax green? Did you know what that means? It means photosynthesis. You'll see how that plays out here in a little bit. I'm telling you the truth, photosynthesis. This is the various forms of salt in that salt chart that is involved in that biothrax and biovax. It's a salt chart for it. Both of them. I was just showing you this. This is a woman that's got a face mask. It even says the Libra on it. Yeah. Oh, Lord. You know what that is? That's a dog muzzle to her masters is what it is. I'm telling you the truth, guys. Look at there. There's the COVID virus. And what do you have in the middle of it? Same symbology. And guys, it don't mean nothing different. Listen, these symbols and these signs and stuff, you can't change the original meaning of them. They've got things attached to them. They are reasons why these things have the meanings they have. You can't change the way the original meaning of these symbols and everything. The tribal symbol of the coronavirus. Well, that doesn't look too good. Whose star is that on? Oh boy. There it is again. Subatomic. Sure is. Borax. That is what it is. The biovax and the biothrax is a medicalized term for the suffix of the said virus. And this is what it is. This is a borax. And it just so happens during this COVID thing, here is a advertisement. It's making a comeback and belongs in your washing machine. See, they're making an excuse for having it around. That's what it is. And look at this, guys. There was somebody come out with this, and this guy right here, he is actually one of these people that's very educated in the field of this, and he's saying the puzzling presence of borax in our vaccinations because he can't figure out why it's there. What is it? What purpose is it serving? Well, Crowley knows what purpose it's serving. Telling you the truth, guys. You just remember this one right here. The puzzling presence of the borax in our vaccinations. I know what it's doing. Yeah. Yeah, I do. You can see right here, this is me communicating with Sean. And again, if you want to, watch his video that I put on My Walk in Jesus Christ. It's got the little happy faces on it. And that's what I'm going to name this too. Or maybe. I don't know. But look at this. The Novartis company is now distributing the vaccine Novavax in America, Sean. And Sean Haras, Dr. Haras, from Africa, which is a real respected man, says they already have the vaccine before it even started. And he knows this too, guys, because he made that video when the virus just barely was going in China. He knew all this, and the video says it. It states it. At the end of this whole thing, I'm going to give you guys where you can get his original videos at. He's got 2 of them, actually. The side effects of the biothrax. And you can see it's red, swelling, warm, itching, headaches, tiredness, weakness, and fatigue, and aching. All that stuff that they tell you, it goes away real quick with the other deal. You know, right there it is. In the way that they say it behaves, it's all the same stuff. It's a cell entrance process. It's a protein spike, in and in. It's everything. Look at this, nuclear actions. pathways connected into vitamin D binding to the VDR. It's all the same thing. And this one, it even says promotes a particular DNA. They try to tell you in the COVID it don't bother your DNA any. This is the exact same thing, guys, and they're saying that it does here. You just can't keep a lie straight, man. It's ridiculous. It's criminal. They even made a hard rock band called Anthrax, and as you can see right there, it's got the pentagram. It's hard rock band, Anthrax. You can't make it up, guys. Let's see here. Anti-vaccine films, let's see, world premiere as part of an anti-vaccination documentary. Reveals that a bunch of stuff, the vaccine syndrome. And look at this, guys, what it says. Over 35,000 Gulf War veterans have died as a result of receiving a mandated anthrax vaccination during the period of time leading up to that conflict. Here is the claim. 35,000, folks. And guys, I know some things personally about this, but I just can't tell you, okay? I know some things personally. Our 35,000 Gulf War veterans died due to the anthrax vaccination. And guys, this is all the same stuff in both of them. Look at what they put in this one magazine that they had, post-corona and post-human. I had this in one of my videos the other day, post-corona and post-human. That means after humans are, if it's after a human are gone, is that what they mean? Post-corona means after the virus. Does post-human mean after the humans? That don't look good at all, guys. I take things literal, and that's to be taken literal. Now, they go into vitamin D, but mostly it was deficiencies that they wanted to talk about and how you needed to take it. And that's all they went on about. You need to take your vitamin D. That's what you need to do. There's another ad for it. You know, you can pause it later. I got to move along because of the video. But you can see it. It's just, don't, take it. So I tried to go with excessive vitamin D to see what it would do. And I had a really rough time with it, guys. Now, this vitamin C is important, too, because it's an acid. It helps the spike penetrate. What role does the vitamin D play? Okay? And there it is again, the fever, the chills, and all that stuff. They says it goes away with COVID, but the muscle pain and the tired feeling, I don't know. I don't think it did go away with anthrax in many situations. There's a deficiency in toxicity that talks a little bit about it. And it says that you acquire it through your skin with the sun, ultraviolet radiation. Okay? Vaccines on the spike. There it is again. You got the vaccine, it goes on it. That protein, same thing. It's the same stuff. It enters your cells. See? Enters the cell. Virus replication, supposedly. Spike protein. And it's that way with both of them. It says the same thing with both of them. And they promote it. You better be taking it. You got to have plenty of it. They don't say anything about having too much of it in most instances. And again, here's a defense corporation that's made that in this country. Then you got this CEO, that's CEO of Procter & Gamble, and he's also CEO of Novartis Pharmaceuticals. That's what it says. But folks, I found all kinds of crazy stuff about this. One minute they say it's owned in the USA, then the next minute it's owned in Switzerland, then the next minute this, and the next minute that. Look at this. It says the trucks and the first vaccinations leave out of Michigan. That's what it says. They start the vaccinations in Michigan. That's where the whole thing starts. That's where the whole thing's going to get kicked up at. But then later, I find this thing right here that says it's going on at the Jewish Medical Center. They're the first ones to be doing anything. What? First trucks with the COVID vaccination out in Michigan, which is where those plants are that the anthrax was. But then they turn right around, and after they post these articles, Over here on the East Coast, look what they do right here. Sandra Lisby is a nursing director of the patient of the Long Island, which Long Island, New York. Judas Medical Center, after receiving a historic shot, she told CNN, "I trust science." This wasn't supposed to be going on here. It's supposed to be going out in the Midwest. It doesn't make sense. And it just so happens that the Swiss belt, or most of the Swiss resided here, is indeed in Missouri, Illinois, and Michigan. You see the dark red. And now all of a sudden, this cat right here is the CEO. What? I thought the guy back there a minute ago was. Now this guy's the CEO. Who's the CEO of them, man? Is it just whoever they feel like it being? Is that who it's supposed to be? I mean, because this cat, see, they're Novartis CEO. Now all of a sudden, we've got some Indian dude that's in there for CEO. What? Okay, I guess, man. I don't think they want us to know who they are, okay? Anthrax vaccination made by a strand of bacteria of the Bacillus anthracis and growing in a laboratory for several proteins called toxins into the surrounding broth. That's how they're supposed to make it. And this benzenium chloride, that was all those variations of that salt a minute ago that you saw. Okay? In both of them. Finally, somebody acknowledged this a little bit because apparently somebody's beginning to catch on to it. Scientists expressed concern over pit COVID-19 vaccine research using anthrax bacteria strain. So somebody's caught on to it some. Talking about the biothrax. You got biovax, biothrax. You know, same thing. Same thing there. Vitamin D response. Due to all this, you need to do that. So I started digging real hard. See, there's the biothrax. Started digging real hard because I wanted to see what the excessive part of this would be. Here once again you're seeing the protein, antigen, and the absorption and all that going on. Okay? And the Bacillus anthracis. Okay? Look at this, guys. Somebody has acknowledged that Bacillus anthracis was C. This is the anthrax. But, let's see here. Hold on. U.S. military vaccine for the anthrax attacks which killed the people and harmed 22 underlined the, look at this right here, lessons from 2001 anthrax attacks. So this guy right here's picked up on it too, man. I never even knew this. I had already matched everything up and said, hey, this is the same thing. Then this guy come up and he did it. So you see, I'm not just making this up. Look at this, anthrax and the WHO, yeah. Yeah, the WHO out in the Bohemian Grove out there. And look at this, CRS, the COVID right there, and look, it's got the Bacillus anthracis, is currently considered as one of the serious bioterrorism threats of the severe disease coronavirus. And now they're trying to come up with this thing that's disarmed the anthrax. Now come on, man, they're making it out to whatever they want it to be, guys. Look at this, statement on Bacillus anthrax for the CoV-2. Potential vaccine candidate against the CRV2, it's a go in a protocol now all of a sudden. In other words, they're coming out with it. Hey, man, this might be a good idea now. Yeah, right, you got caught, people's what it is. Swiss. I'm telling you, man, COVID vaccine lessons from the 2001 anthrax attacks. And if you want to go to this and take a look at it, it's actually ABC News that come out with it. And that's kind of surprising. Even they did it. Somebody saw it. Look at that. It affects African Americans pretty badly. You can just read out on that. Yeah, gotta move along here. Elevated blood calcium levels, which that happens whenever you've got a lot of that in there. Look here. Nausea, vomiting, and poor this and that, along with that excessive amount of the vitamin D. Look at this, taking a high dose of vitamin D for correct deficiency. 4 of them is nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite, vitamin D mega dose. Look at this, stomach constipation and diarrhea. And it's all, this is the one article that I found on elevated COVID vitamin D intoxication. There it is. Vitamin D and kidney injury and injury of all kinds, guys, over excessive vitamin D. Now you're going to say, Jerry, where did they get this excessive vitamin D at along with this shot in Iraq? I'm going to tell you folks where they got it. The reason why they got an excessive amount of vitamin D, and these guys are all sick and they can't figure it out, is because they got an excessive amount of vitamin D because the sun in the Middle East is the hottest that it is just about anywhere in the world. Iraq gets up to like 112 degrees, man. It's hot. And so these guys is loaded up on this vitamin D off of excessive sun exposure. That's been what it's been. How much vitamin D is too much? The surprising truth. There's you an article by Ada Baradottere or whatever, Miss RDN. She can tell you all about it. I'm leaving you these articles to look at. See, vitamin D extremes. Vitamin D toxicity. And these guys got this, guys, because they had too much sunlight out there. It's what it was, man. I'm telling you straight up. They got overloaded on vitamin D. Now I want to tell you something else, and I want you to keep this in mind. They had a lot of electromagnetic wave radiation and base station antennas and health effects in Iraq because of a lot of electromagnetic. The Invisible War talks about it. Now just watch this now, because we're going to connect the dots here, okay? Electromagnetic spectrum, enraged invisible, insurgents tried to be prepared to bring me into the R&D facility with the technicians were developed for the amount of the ultimate weapon of the electromagnetic war, a tool off the premises. So you're seeing right there, that there's something to this. Keep the dots connected on this. I want you to keep the dots connected on the electromagnetic energy out in Iraq. I want you to remember that. That's all I want you to do. You don't know what for yet. Okay? But you got various things. You can pause it and take a look. Electromagnetic countermeasures. There's just all kinds of stuff, man, when it comes to this in warfare. And look, Gulf War illness is a chronic and multi-symptomatic disorder affecting returning military veterans from the Gulf War. Acute and chronic symptoms have been linked to it, including fatigue, muscle pain, cognitive insomnia, rashes, and diarrhea. Look at this, Gulf War, aging faster. People are aging faster with it. Here's you one. Gulf War still experiencing harmful nervous system illnesses. All kinds of stuff, guys, from it. And it's the exact same thing, guys. It's the same thing. Bosnia and Kosovo. Abnormalities in their genes. Okay? And it's the same stuff. Desert Storm veterans in health facilities. Dizziness, disorders, problems. It just goes on and on and on. December the 14th was when they were supposed to be given the coronavirus shot. Remember what I told you about the Julian calendar? That'll actually be December the 25th when you look at that. And December the 25th, folks, you know, it skipped 11 days there. December the 25th, which that's all kinds of stuff it'll tell you about it, how people used to. It's the birth of the sun god, people. It's the birth of the devil. It's not the birth of Jesus Christ. The birth of Jesus Christ is on 1st Nisan in March. I'm telling you. December 25th. People believe they are celebrating the birth of Christ. You know, it says in the Bible right there in the last days, folks, everybody will be worshiping Baal. You're being deceived, guys. Now, here's where it gets tricky. December the 21st, we're supposed to have this planetary alignment. You guys remember it. Yeah. And that December the 21st, it translates into what? If you go all the way past January the 31st, translates into the new year. See, the other one lined up with the 25th, and then the other one lined up with the 1st. So, guys, that's what's happened to our calendar. Now, let's see. It's just more stuff right there. It's just about the conspiracy theory connects the 5G to the COVID-19 virus, but they're putting it down and debunking it. There's nothing to it whatsoever. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you something. I know how this cat right here operates. He's the most evil occultist in the entire world. They said that he was the best at geometria, at this and that he exceeded everybody in knowledge of the occult, everybody in knowledge of everything that he done. And you might look at me and say, Jerry, you're no match for this man. Oh, yes, I am too. I'm a match for this man, but guess what? I'll not defeat him, guys, because you all won't let me. But I'm going to show you right now what this man did. Well, how are you going to do that, Jerry? Okay, I'll show you. Let me tell you something, guys. You're talking about that shot. That vitamin D that we were talking about that the sun give you out in Iraq. That happened because they were out in excessive sun. Well, what if I told you that same thing is going to happen with the COVID virus? And the first thing you're going to say is nah, it ain't going to happen there, Jerry. It's not going to do that because with that COVID virus, I can stay indoors and I don't have to get around the sun, so I'm not going to be getting no excessive vitamin D from no excessive sun. People, let me tell you something. You underestimate this master builder of the 33rd degree right here. This man right here, guys, I'm telling you, he was the real deal, brother. He was the real deal. He was absolutely well trained and well armed in the occultic knowledge of Kabbalistic geometria, of the sciences, of astrological confinements. He was, this is the real cat. It is. This is the real deal right here, guys. You want to talk about an Luciferian magician, wizard, and occultist? This guy was. He was the real deal. And the reason why that I say that is because what he did to this shot that nobody's figured out. Now, other people have looked at that shot and they said, we can't find anything wrong with it. You know that some people have. That really love God, that knows that stuff. They've looked at it and they would be willing to tell you what's wrong with it and what it would do. But they can't find it. And you know why they can't? Because there's more to this story than meets the eye. You remember what I told you about the vitamin D increasing right there because of the sun out in the Iraqi desert, right? Well, guys, during this, that planetary alignment came along right at the time that they were finishing up that shot over here on the east of the world. So everybody else had done had the shot, and we're on the verge of all having it ourselves. And guess what, guys? When this happened, astrologically, the electromagnetic energy field of the Earth systematically increases because of this astrological event. And when that astrological event occurs systematically, which is the same ultraviolet electromagnetic energy, don't let anybody fool you, it's the same thing, it will automatically, because of this event, raise your vitamin D levels to do the same thing to you that it did to the others in Iraq. I told you the truth, guys. So now you know I'm the real deal when it comes to God, don't you? I'm not afraid of this man, guys. I can go toe to toe with him, brother. You might say, Jerry, you're just a common guy from the Blue Ridge Mountains, man. People think that you all were raised barefooted up there and everything else. Let me tell you something, guys. God said he'll bring the wise down to fools, and he'll give knowledge to the simple person. And that's what he's done with me. He's took a simple, ordinary man, and he's let me raise the sword for him. That's right, and I've answered the call, people. I've not given up my birthright. That's exactly right. And you know what, guys? Ask and ye shall receive. But guess what? Other people ask me why they don't receive. You do not receive because you do not ask. I'm being honest. You don't ask. You don't believe. I asked, and he has showed me. This is the increase in vitamin D that you're getting. You can't make it up, folks. I know how the occult works. I know how this cat works. He set all this up astrologically. He set all this up off the giant's thumb. I mean, he did it. He figured out a way to get the extra vitamin D in everybody without them knowing it. You would have never thought this. And he would have never thought that somebody would have put all this together on him. Something, isn't it? Look at this. Waves and electromagnetic energy from astrological alignments. Same stuff, guys. And if it's the same ultraviolet electromagnetic energy, then systematically and by the law of physics, if it's the same thing, it must produce the same results. Vitamin D. I know what I'm talking about. Look at this right here, guys. This Naomi, this girl right here, she is a eugenics scientist for Switzerland. And look at this. You see the moon sign? It's the harvest moon. Look at here, the Scorpio. Naomi. This was very, very hard to find. Naomi, and it means harvest moon. And she's a eugenics scientist for them. See, Naomi means full moon. If I don't have a picture of her here, I will pause it. Harvest moon, see there? Naomi, my own. Harvest moon. And harvest moon's on September the 23rd. Now let's see here. Hold on 1 minute. I want you to see a picture of this woman, so I'm going to pause it a minute. Alright, folks, right here she is there, Naomi Widow, and this time they're featuring her at Twin Lab CEO in Florida. I didn't know that. I got another picture of her in Switzerland because she advertises some super protection immunity booster. See that? Now look at this. Hold on. Naomi, look at this. Naomi, vitamin D, super booster. She wants you to take it. That's what it is. She's got her own vitamin D, and guess what Naomi means, guys? It means harvest moon. At full moon, it's a harvest, is what it means in Strong's Greek. Her name even means Libra. That's what it means. We'll look at it here just a minute. I don't know what I'm going to run up on here even. Twin Lab at CEO, but I seen her earlier in Switzerland. See, you don't know where these people are. It's like, look at this Glow 15. What does she mean? The glow dot's like it's in my Libra Oz, the first one that I've got that's in the DNA in the Rug Doctor plant. Is that what she means, the Glow 15? Age in reverse. We was talking about aging her a minute ago. I don't know, man. Let's see here. Hang on. Alright, guys, here's Ephesians 2:2, in which you used to live when you followed the ways of this world, of the ruler of the kingdom of the air, the spirit who now works in the children of disobedience. He is the spirit at work of the hearts who refuse to obey God. And that's what Paul said, folks. The prince of the air. And guess what, guys? The element of that is air. Element air. And guess what? Now you're going to say, Jerry, where is this electromagnetic energy going to come from to accommodate that shot? Where's it going to come from? Because they had all this electromagnetic warfare over in Iraq. Where's it going to come from over here? Well, guys, I'm going to tell you something. This is where it gets really occultic, okay? Now remember, this is the tale of the Liber Oz. And it has many different meanings, not just Libra, Libre, and Libra. But this is the Liber harp of King David. The Liber harp. And guess what, guys? If you take a look at Crowley in his book of the 777, you will see what you would think would be the Masonic towers of Joachim and Boaz, which is the pillars of abomination at the gate of the altar in King Solomon's temple. It's the abominations at the gate of the altar is what it is. And you can see the pharaonic Egyptian wings there of Ma'at, the goddess Ma'at. Okay? And look at this. You see these on top of the towers? What that is, that's both ends of this Liber harp collapsed together. You got the concept of 3 for the sides of a pyramid and the concept of 4 for the base of the pyramid. Look at this down here. You see the fish, and there's the calcium spike, guys. You can't make this stuff up. Now you're saying, now what do you mean the Liber harp is on top of that, Jerry? Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. This is how evil this is, guys. You got to understand how the occult works. This is how evil it is. Okay? The harp, the power of the music of the Liber harp. And remember, it was so powerful he was able to soothe King Saul with it. Now here's Prince William's new coat of arms, folks. And like I told you the other day, it not only has the Merovingian king bloodline in it from Lady Diana. Look right here. There's the Liber harp now of King David. Aleister Crowley's part of his family, folks. I told you that. This is the aristocracy. Okay? That's who this is. It's the aristocracy. The pharaohs. They're not like you. I promise you they're not. All right. There is the 5G tower. You can't make it up. The harmonic waves of the Liber harp. Now you're going to say, Jerry, that is the stupidest thing I ever heard of, the harmonic waves of the Liber harp. Well, I'll tell you what, I got a little short video I want you to watch. Let's hit it, baby.
And we're trying to get to the bottom of it. Yeah, pretty strange. A loud, continuous, low-pitched humming noise drew neighbors outside, but no one seems to know what it is. 13 Action News reporter David Schumann went digging for the answer.
Something may be lurking in these here mountains south of Las Vegas.
Humming, I would say, like a metal iron humming.
The mysterious pitch at 12:15 in the morning was loud enough for Anna Ketterlin to hear while she watched TV.
We looked at the sky, we could not see any planes or anything moving.
She says it went on for 12 minutes straight. Viewers call us with story ideas, tips, or to ask for help all the time. This was one of the more unusual requests. Figure out what this noise is. We thought it may have come from the U.S. Army Reserve Center close by. Our email to them wasn't returned.
It sounds like a train.
A train seems possible. Tracks run in the desert on the other side of the mountains. Neither the BLM nor the owner of a nearby quarry got back to us about that.
If you can find out anything, me and my friends are waiting for answers.
Anna's neighbors aren't as hungry for the truth as she is.
It's a weird noise, but it's definitely, even if I woke up by it, I wouldn't think about it too much.
But Anna's lived here for 2 years, and she's never heard anything like it. That's why she's convinced it wasn't a train. So we asked her if she's considered something supernatural.
No, I don't really believe in UFOs, but I believe in higher powers.
Marlene Calhoun looked for something simpler.
We live by the freeway, so I probably would have thought it's something from the freeway.
Right.
I don't know. Weird.
Every neighbor we talked to had an opinion on the noise. What we want to know now is, did you hear it? Do you have any ideas about what it might have been? Do you care? Please let us know on our social media accounts. We're not ready to give up on this mystery just yet. David Schumann, 13 Action News.
Well, I can't wait to hear the responses on this story. And we looked into this story when Anna reached out to us, as always.
Yeah, I've got a response to you on this story, all right, people. I know exactly what it is. It's Aleister Crowley. All right, let's see here. Let's go. Let's look right here. Let's go again with another one right here. It's all over the world, guys. Go take a look at it. What in the world's going on with this stuff anyway?
Age 49 to 63
Hold
and
on.
not able to work? This message is for you.
Yeah, it's me. All
It's
right.
an unsolved mystery keeping this neighborhood awake at night.
Sounds like 50 trucks starting up when it's very loud.
What is it? There are a lot of theories.
Spaceships from outer space to American military installations.
Tonight, the defenders on the case of the mysterious Windsor hum. A persistent noise, sometimes compared to an idling truck or the distant rumbling of thunder, is plaguing many who live across the Detroit River.
The noise is known as the Windsor hum. Mysterious
The Windsor hum.
But very few, if any, complaints on the
Hey,
Detroit
people,
side of the river.
you hear that right there? Listen, you just hear that? It's the Windsor hum. Listen, people, you can't make this stuff up, okay? Hold on.
Down the mysterious noise and see what residents and even scientists are doing about it.
It's a mystery that's been plaguing this Canadian community for nearly 7 years.
Sounded like 15 trucks around our house starting up, big transports.
That's Debbie McDonald. She loves the home and the yard she has in Windsor. But she didn't expect the noise.
We had just built the house. A couple weeks in, we started feeling the windows shake and, couldn't figure out what was going on.
McDonald isn't the only one complaining. A Facebook page dedicated to the Windsor hum with more than 2,000 members all posting when they hear that strange noise.
The sound I was hearing was like...
Yeah, you heard it all right. It's Aleister Crowley right there and his beast family there, the Sex Cobra Golgotha.
Why does it bug you?
Constant, steady buzz or hum. It never goes away.
That's Mike Provost. He not only runs the Facebook page on the Windsor hum,
That's it.
but records daily the sounds he hears from his West Windsor backyard.
So you basically made a makeshift laboratory in your backyard.
Yeah.
Provost has 3 different recording devices,
The same as the other one.
placed in different locations
We can triangulate it with the third one.
to record noise.
And you can see the numbers. So
He also makes daily logs from his backyard on what he hears, marks down the temperature, the wind speed, other factors going on that day.
it's partly cloudy.
So you save the data from every single day.
Then inputs everything into his computer. Every day, every week, every month. He's been doing this for years.
And this is all the people and the times they posted.
And keeps track of neighbors' comments.
Said, what the heck's going on out there? It is really, really loud. I've never heard it like that. He said, it sounds like 1,000 jets flying over.
Provost let me listen to one of the recordings.
Because of weather conditions, it seems louder. Cloud cover and that.
I could fit.
I mean, people, listen. You could go on and on and on with this stuff right here. I could go on with it for hours, man. Take a look at this right here. Hold on a minute. Look at this. The hum conspiracy. Look at this one right here. This is the sound mysteries right here. You know what they got on this one sound mysteries? They said that some people from the University of Windsor come to check it out. They wanted to investigate it. You can't make it up, man. Hey, that would be like me killing somebody. And then after that, I'd be an investigator, and they'd come say, listen, somebody got killed across the town over there. You and your family, you investigate it, and we was the one that killed them. Oh, brother, I'll tell you. It's criminal, man. It's Windsor Palace, man, okay? It's Crowley's family. It's them. And you know what I think about Prince William. I've already said it in my videos, guys. He's got the 12 bloodlines now. And this cat right here is the beast. It rises up out of the sea. The second one that causes all to worship the first beast. That's what he is. Okay? I mean, you could go on and on and on with these stories of this mysterious hum going on all everywhere. And nobody knows what it's for yet. They're just antagonizing people to put it on there. They ain't really shot the real deal out yet. Now I want to tell you what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to give you a video right here, and I'm going to tell you what this is doing with the biothorax and how this electromagnetic wave, how that it is affecting what it's affecting. And I've got a video that'll prove it. Give me 1 second right here. You're going to see what happened to our Desert Storm people with that hot sun and the vitamin D. And you're also going to see what it's going to do to you with this. 1 second, now I'll throw it on here. Now folks, how many do you know that Nikola Tesla, he's kin to Trump, he's kin to the Windsor Palace, he dealt with this stuff. Now, when you watch this is called the Great Renaissance Experiment. The pad that you're seeing is the electromagnetic energy. The configurations on top of the pad you're seeing is the DNA, okay? Your DNA codes. The little shaker that you're seeing it's going on top of that is this biothorax and biovax, the borax. And watch what it does to the DNA configuration when you got electromagnetic energy on the pad and you shake some of the salt on top of it. Watch. Energy, frequency, and vibration. There it is. There's the salt, guys. Look. Vibrate the metal plate by using, and the pitch of the tone increases. Geometric patterns with forms become more complex. See, they're turning up the megahertz. Watch. Here we go. This is what they're doing, guys. Praise God. Praise the Master. Only through Him do I know these things. Only through you, sweet Jesus Christ, do I know these. You are the King and Kings and Lord of Lords, Jesus. Praise God. Praise you, Master. People, I've made it a lifelong ambition to stop this man. You see that, people? He changes the genetic patterns in your DNA according to the megahertz frequencies that's applied to it. And the megahertz frequencies applied to that in coincidence with that salt, that biothrax and biovax. This was what was wrong with our Desert Storm people, man. They had a lot of vitamin D, and these towers has got the energy to throw it out there, man. They can control the megahertz off of it. Now you're going to say, Jerry, what are you saying about this shot? This is the mark of the beast. How do you get that, Jerry? Well, you remember when I showed you the nuclear symbol, don't you? Here's the nuclear molecule. Let he who hath understanding calculate the mark of the beast, for it is the number of a man. Look at this, guys. Go for it with me here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 tips, 6 triangles, 6 hexagonal sides. You have the hexagram in the middle of that molecule, nuclear molecule, and there you go. Inverted triangle, regular together, in a hexagram. 60 plus 60 plus 60 is 180. You've got all kinds of different ways you can do it. 6 tips, 6 triangles, and 6 hexagrams the main way. It's the mark of the beast, folks. And it's right in the Bible. Yep. Can't make it up, guys. There it is. And they proclaim to be of lineage of King David, but they're not. They're of the tribe of Dan, folks. Well, they are, but now through Princess Diana, he has the lineage of David in him now, and the Liber harp shows it. But you see what else they done there too. You know what it says in Revelation 9, guys? The men will long to die, but death will flee from them. It's not good. This is it right here. Now listen, I'm going to ask you something. If you're watching this, are you going to be like everybody else has been? Are you tired of renouncing your birthright to Longshanks? Are you going to renounce your birthright like everybody else has in front of me? You know, people tell me, Jerry, you think you're some blood lineage of Jesus Christ or the Fisher Kings of the Merovingian kings. Yes, I do. And I proclaim my blood lineage. I proclaim my blood lineage to Sir William Atwood, the captain of the guards for King Edward III, who was a Merovingian king. My blood lineage proves it, guys. I've had genetic tests done. And there is a strong suspicion in many ways, and a lot of proof, that Mary Magdalene and Jesus Christ had children together in France. Or she went to France after he was crucified. And she had twins, which I told you he does things in 2 different ways all the time. And there you go. I'm not renouncing my blood lineage. If you see this and you believe in me, and you do nothing, you're renouncing your blood lineage. You're renouncing what God has given us on this earth. Quit. Be like William Wallace. I'm tired of taking the scraps from the table. When you missed your God-given right to something better. I'm telling you, folks, there's a deeper meaning to that. And you have to make a choice. You do. Folks, what I'm showing you here today, my heart is genuine to it. And if you think that I'm into witchcraft or whatever else, I've had people tell me that. You know what? That's exactly what they accused Jesus of when he tried to show them the truth. Ain't nothing new under the sun, is there? Just like King Solomon said, nothing new under the sun. There isn't. There's nothing new. The tribe of Dan and the Pharisees, they persecuted Jesus and they put him to death. Now, they're going to persecute his church and do the same thing. it ain't a matter of whether your ass is on the line or not. Your ass is already on the line. The only question is, what are you going to do about it? I'm serious. Trust me on what I'm telling you. I'm dead serious. Thank you for watching my video. Leave some comments. But this is the most prophetic thing I've ever did in my life. Nothing has even come close to this. This is my legacy, guys. This is my legacy of my blood lineage right here, this very video. I promise you it is. This is my legacy in Jesus Christ right here. And the Merovingian kings of the Fisher Kings. And King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. That's right. It's all about honesty, integrity, truthfulness, chivalry. It's what it's about, folks. And I'm not renouncing my birthright. I'm sorry, people. If you don't like what I have to say, it's just tough. I'm not renouncing my birthright. You go ahead and do it. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not giving my birthright up to these people anymore to tell myself I'm not good enough to be what God wants me to be. That's right. Thank you for watching my video.